Welcome, moms. Welcome to Inside the Moms Club. I'm your host, Monica Samuels, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Julie Orchid.
I
Julie,
have missed you.
I've missed you too.
You're my roommate. You're my friend. I give you a hard time. All of those things.
You do. But we're good roommates. We're good roommates.
I know.
Last night you asked me to hit you if you snored.
I knew it was coming.
And I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and I've been up ever since because that's the life of a middle-aged mom. So
for sure. Insomnia is no joke now.
It is no joke.
Yeah.
I tried everything that I could think of to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But every thought I could think of was running through my mind, and I just
How often do you wake up with not being able to, insomnia?
Pretty much every night.
Oh.
But you know what? No, I do have a product we'll talk about later that has helped me to sleep, to get back to sleep. We'll get to that. But lately, I think I've been suffering from a few things.
Okay.
But this is my most concerning thing, and you're a really good friend, so you can tell me what you think about this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Is this dementia, or is it more menopause? Now, I'll tell you what happened, or what's been happening. So my son's friend was helping me with something, and I said, Danny, I need you to go into my office and go in there, and that thing next to the door that has wheels on it that you put stuff on? And he said, the cart.
The cart. It has a word.
The cart.
Yes. So that is the biggest thing for me, the brain fog. Why am I in this room? Why did I come here? What's happening? And finding the words. So that's the biggest thing. And so yesterday I was smart enough. I was with all my Texas Longhorn football friends this weekend. So I fired up that text group and I said, girls, give me your one thing. And of course my friend, responded, I can only give one. And I was like, yes, I don't have all day. Give me the one thing that bugs you the most about this new stage of life. And do you want to know what they are?
Yeah. What's the list?
Okay.
I probably
one was like
them.
This spare tire around my waist, and I work out 5-6 days a week. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, don't work out 5-6 days a week if you're still gonna have, But that's only because I don't really exercise as much as she does. The other one was insomnia. And then, the other one was obviously sweating through the sheets. Not only the sheets, but what you're wearing, and then you have to change in the middle of the night. It's a whole thing. And the last one I was surprised about, adult acne.
Oh.
So I've been stealing my daughter's pimple patches after I complained about how expensive they were and do you really need that? And I've decided now that it's happening to me that the whole family gets a patch. Yeah.
Well, good.
We're a house full of girls.
I think that's part of the list, but that probably doesn't even cover everything.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
But here's the good news. I believe menopause is having its moment. Think about it. Leanne Morgan's show is big. That's, just Melanie.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Who's on, the TikTok, Instagram, because she started the We Just Do Not Care Club. And it was originally for perimenopause and menopausal women, but then I got in her TikTok live and I asked the question, so do you start caring again in postmenopause? And they said, no, you still don't care.
I actually like that answer. It lightens up life, if you're not going to, I don't mean like not care
the rest of your life.
Well, care about the little things. And you just really don't. You realize you don't
she's
have time for that.
So anyway, it's just nice to know that we have something that the world can now discuss and share and learn about and take the stigma off of it.
Yes.
Because you know what? Raising two sons in the era of erectile dysfunction ads has been rough.
And so they should have to hear about menopause.
Now they can learn about hot flashes.
Listen, I'm not a man hater, but if this was happening to men, no sleep, sweating, word finding, brain fog, everything that I've listed.
Yeah.
The world would fall apart.
It really would.
That's just an opinion.
Well, I am excited today that we have two ladies who can share more about this important issue.
Thank God for them.
They are lifelong friends who are both successful producers, actors, and writers, each in their own right. And they've joined together to create, produce, and star in a YouTube comedy series that followed two friends in the throes of menopause called The Third Act. Please welcome Jane Hajduk and Shari Doran. Welcome to the Moms Club, ladies.
Hi. Great to be here.
Oh, it's so nice to be able to talk to you.
thank you for coming. And I love what you're doing. So you have the 12 episode comedy series on YouTube, and each episode is like 2 or 3 minutes. It's fun to watch, and you can, that's one thing you can binge watch in like an hour, I guess. It's
Yeah.
really great. How did you two decide to do this together? When I said you were lifelong friends, you were college roommates, I understand. So you've been working together for a long time. How did this come about, this new project?
So it's interesting. I'm Shari, by the way. I'm not sure my name's up there, but I'm Shari. Janie's over there. We were college roommates. We worked together in California in production. We had 2 different producing companies. We did small projects together, and COVID hit, like the rest of us. What's going to happen during COVID? And so we wanted to write something or do something. And so I said, Jane, why don't we write about what we're going through? We're both going through it. And she's like, no. And Jane had never written before. It kind of became a camaraderie with us. I wasn't working as an actor anymore. I just work in production. And she said, well, I'll write for the first time if you act again. And so we challenged each other. And I don't know, like 20 Zooms later, we had the first season written, and we were ready to take off. And Jane, you can take it from there and talk a little bit more about what happened.
Yeah, well, I've happened to watch Inside the Moms Club as well as my partner Shari, and I know your motto. If you don't laugh, you are going to cry.
Exactly.
That sums this show up. If you want to learn anything, don't ask us. But if you want to open up the conversation and laugh and maybe get a little more comfortable saying to your doctor, I am really dry. And I don't mean dry, I mean cracking down there. What can I do? Because we will go through that. You will see an episode of that. You will see me looking right there at her and telling her, yeah, you're really dry. So it really does open up the conversation. As I said, when I saw the motto of your show, I go, oh my gosh, this is the third act. And it is. And the moms, ladies, they'll say, I mean, it is one of those things, misery loves company. So if I can sit there and talk to Shari about my acne, which is so screwed up that at age 53 to 57, I've had acne, and then we can hot flash together in that, and all of a sudden, it's almost kind of enjoyable. Oh yeah, I did that too, and so.
Oh, you guys are so funny. How did you come up with the short timing of your shows? I mean, because it's hilarious in a short amount of time, and you can relate really fast. So, how did you guys think of that?
I'm going to take this, Shari, because I know she's brilliant, and she'll say it is a real exercise to write a beginning, middle, and end in that short of time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just tell you the real truth: money.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we knew we can't write 30-minute episodes, and because we literally thought we'd be holding our cell phone and shooting these. And then my husband started saying, wait, I think one can move with you. So we had all these ideas, and long story short, somebody came on and said, we want to produce this. This is great. And we are just so happy. It's not a lot of money, but still it's not ours. And then they pull out, and then it's ours. And so we get our great friends in the business that are working for little, I won't say to nothing, because they're working for little money. And this is what we created. Shari, do you want to go anymore? I mean,
No, that's really it. But I think there is something interesting about, can you arc a story in that short of time and get an audience to, care about those characters. And that was kind of for me, that was kind of the fun as a writer, and the challenge to Jane too. I was like, okay, we have to, the audience has to want to care about these 2 women. And I think they do. You want to cheer them on.
Well, and I appreciate you noting that our motto is, if you don't laugh, sometimes you're going to cry. We might add misery loves company too.
We
That's
could
not a
add
bad
that.
thing to
That
add to
might
too.
be something.
Because that's great.
Onto something.
I also noticed in your episodes, a lot of them occur in the bathroom. And so, I mean, Julie and I have shared a lot of menopause issues together, but never there.
Well, a bathroom.
Not yet, anyway.
A king size bed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
Well,
sharing. Yeah.
So is there a thought behind that, or how did that come out?
So the characters in the show are Josephine and Lauren. I play Lauren. She plays Josephine. Based loosely on our personalities. I don't think we strayed too far. A little far. And some. I don't drink as much as Lauren. I don't think.
I did notice that one comment that made me laugh.
We wanted to have them video, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it other than we thought the sound was better in the bathroom, which it is.
And the lighting.
And the lighting. Great.
Okay.
I mean, because we thought 2 women, where would it be? And we have windows there. I know everybody doesn't have windows in their bathroom, but I do. And I am sitting in front of a huge window. That's why I look so good.
I mean, we could try it for our show.
Yeah, we could.
So there's really, I mean, it was just a silliness of like, where would these 2 women do this?
And
they're not, they're not producers. They don't work in Hollywood. They're 2 women that want to make a video.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Josephine is the lawyer. Is that right? Yes. Well, I can appreciate that because I'm a recovering attorney here. So watching you go through it as a lawyer, that adds an extra layer of comedy to it because lawyers are pretty buttoned up people. So to be going through all this is pretty hilarious, and that's a lot of fun to it.
I'll add to that also it's based on a friend of mine who is a district attorney, and she had that experience. So a lot of her stories have come from different places, but she was really, really struggling in her job. And I was talking to her one night over a glass of wine, and I was like, what do you do? What? She goes, Shari, and so that's kind of how that story, of course, we took some liberties. That's how it came to be.
Yeah, brain fog as an attorney is not a good thing. I'll tell you, that's a rough one.
Yeah,
not what your clients want to see. Then you don't even, you can't pull it together.
So I was reading a little bit about the National Menopause Show, which you guys are going to be at. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yay! And so I feel like this is, something that every woman should know about. Like, because it's something. I mean, tell us. Like, it's open to anybody and everybody, is it not?
Yes. So it's the National Menopause Show in Anaheim. They had their first one in Toronto.
Oh.
And it was made by women for women. And I kind of reached out to them, and then they reached back to me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we need comedy. You just want to see a bunch of doctors and kind of go, what's going on?"
Right.
And I said, well, we can break the ice if you want that. We can. So it's going to be on October 4th and 5th in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Yes, I did read that.
Actually, we have a code for our show. It's called the THEE, the 20. If you put the 20, they'll give you a 20% discount till October 3rd on it. But I also received a letter today. This is how great this organization is. They're like, hey, if you have women friends that can't even afford, and it is very minimal the cost. I think it's like $35 to get in. Plus we get a 20% discount. But she said, if you have friends that can't go, tell me and I'll get you a pass.
Oh my God.
These ladies care.
That is great.
I mean, I love that because like some people don't feel like they can talk about it. They can ask about it. And if you go there, you're like, oh, me too. That's happening. And so you get all your information. You actually feel better when you leave there. Like something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited.
No, I absolutely love the whole thing because there's so many things as women that we don't talk about and share with each other. For example, when I had my children, no one told me about sleep deprivation. I mean, when you have a baby, you didn't realize you're going to be up for a year.
Right.
No one tells you.
No one says
you have
anything.
to practice law with no sleep. Kind of like when you're in menopause, same sort of thing.
Exactly.
But it's nice that they're sharing, that they have something like that where we can share it. And I love that they're doing it with comedy too, because some of this you just have to laugh or you will cry for sure. And
do you guys think you've hit the mark? Like, right? The timing is really, really good. You've got Halle Berry. Let's just talk about that. Yeah. You've got you guys. And then we also have, MIDI, you can't forget them. They're just out there promoting all of that stuff. So, and I was very sad they took away some of my hormone drugs this year, but eventually we'll get those back. So, when you get diagnosed with breast cancer,
that's right.
Oh, that's right. They take away some of that stuff. So, that is something that, I look forward to. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed, I can get back on track.
Yeah. Well, it's good to get everybody together too and explore what the different options are for like supplements. I mean, you literally try everything.
Yeah.
And my poor husband has to sleep in 58-degree weather, or now the temperature.
You
the
mean in your
thermostats
house?
Yeah, our house is like super cold.
Yeah. Is that a fight in y'all's house?
Thank God it's not in mine. It's kind of strange. Sorry, I'm not gonna, but I am ready to rip this off. That's
Do
one of the
it.
things
We're
that's
fine with
not
that. We're good with that.
My big thing, I'm not like hot all the time. I've always been cold, and that kind of stayed with me. But trust me, I have the brain fog. I have the crazy moods where my husband's probably like, "What the heck?" all the time with me. I have, it's just. It's so much more. The acne. I know some of you are looking. The hair loss.
Yeah.
Extra
Oh,
hair.
Lord.
There's so many things. So that's not mine. So and thank God he's never been a hot. So our temperature is pretty good.
Yeah.
Sherry, what about you?
No. My husband, he loves that he could cook a steak on the bed at night. That's what he tells me. He's like, I could cook a steak right now. And I go, well,
Yeah.
okay, because I'm just sweating. And then I have the belly. I have the belly thing. I've never had a belly in my life. And I work out. I don't work out. I tried yoga, diets. And so I just named her. I call her Betty the bitch.
Betty the bitch. Yeah.
Well,
She likes to carry on.
And I'm
I'm going to find a name.
I have
Sherry.
been dealing with that. And my husband thinks he's being kind about the whole. He said, you could just go get liposuction, get that sucked right out. Like, who wants to hear that you need liposuction? I mean, that's not what you want to hear from your husband.
Yeah.
No.
That's true.
Tell me
I just tell my husband
you.
he has a little extra girl in the bed with him. And just work it that way.
Yeah.
That'll excite him. That'll be like, oh, okay.
So you all are going to have a season 2.
Yay.
And what's that going to look like?
Okay, well, we have had a season 2, so
Oh.
we're on 1 and 2. And season 2, we just kind of meet the family and we see how we spread the love with menopause, right, Sherry?
Ah.
Yes. Well, it's so we really bring in husbands in season 2. It's out right now. We bring in our children. Jane has a daughter in it and a son, and how it affects all of the family. And how it's affecting men. And they are pretty funny. I will say we have Tom Lennon, who is from Reno 911. I don't know if you've seen that. Very funny actor.
Awesome.
We're very fortunate. We have Michael Dorn from Star Trek. plays
Awesome.
her husband, Jane. We have Jen Ray from In the Middle, who played the neighbor. She's on it. We were so lucky. People watched it and said, "This is funny. I'm in."
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
How do the men describe it for the listeners who haven't seen it yet? Like, what do they say? I'm dying to know.
The men?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anybody, not even just Tom and Michael, but people who have watched it said, everybody should, that are open themselves, everybody should be watching this, because then you don't call your wife or your partner or whatever crazy. You kind of go, I had no idea, which, trust me, we didn't either a few years ago, did we? I mean, nobody talked about menopause. And when Sherry and I started this, we got done shooting it at the end of September 3 years ago, and I'm watching football and I saw a hot flash commercial and I said, no way. I mean, we are so on the pulse. They are talking. And so, yeah, it's just, and I think they can appreciate, and I think we talked about this before the show, but you see how quick those commercials come with erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Oh,
We see how quick we got that blue pill. We don't have any blue pill or pink or
Anything. Not even pink.
So it's about time it's being talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all were pioneers too, because you started this a few years ago, and now we have Leanne Morgan, and we have this woman Melanie, who's really she's just 1 million followers. I think she literally said she left a grocery store, sat in her car, and did this one video crying about menopause, and it got home and she had 1 million followers.
That's unbelievable.
And there are women they've started chapters of We Do Not Care Club.
Well,
you are, by the way, welcome to join us in our Mom Tourage and the chapters. You all are welcome to join the Moms Club too, because we need.
But I think it's key, like what you were saying. Like people say like all the time, "Oh God, she's like I said, I have 2 daughters, so they're gonna go through it, girls." So what I'm saying is that they're like, "Oh my God, she's on the crazy train again," and they Snapchat each other and talk about me all the time. But they also, when I lived in Europe in '87, I am not allowed to give blood. because that's when mad cow disease was. So now they go back and forth from, oh, she's on the menopause crazy train and she has mad cow disease. So it's like, it's important that we don't, get blamed about like being
it's kind of-
crazy all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole crazy thing is really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, it is
We're
so
not alone.
exciting.
We have
are not
people.
alone.
We have women that are with us.
Some Zoomer moms who have a lot of questions for our guests. So welcome, Zoomer moms. Welcome to the Moms Club.
Woo!
Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining us. And let's start with Marianne. Marianne, can you tell us your name, where you're from, a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question for our guests?
I do. Shari, I believe it was you. You did some World War II documentary and something about Anne Morrow Lindbergh. So I'm wondering if the comic part is relief for your serious side of things that you like to do, or do you just like both of them?
Oh, that's an interesting question. It's funny because that was another reason Jane and I did this project, is we've always been cast as the serious, dramatic, and I love comedy. And people say, you're kind of funny, Shari. You're like, you should be doing comedy. So I think it was a good release. And I also think that in any show, I think even in a dramatic, there should be comedy, because that's life. I mean, that is how we deal with it. But that's interesting. Thank you for saying that. So History Speaks, which I loved. I did make a World War II documentary, and a huge fan of Anne Morrow Lindbergh, who was actually way ahead of all of us having these shows. She was writing books, back when women didn't write books. So
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
too.
Hey, Marianne, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and do you have any
I'm
children?
from Shreveport, Louisiana, Northwest Louisiana.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Laura
Thanks for
Lee.
having me.
Yeah, Laura Lee, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself. And do you have a question for the guests?
As Laura Lee, thanks. It's good to be here today. It's so nice to meet you all. I'm in East Tennessee, just outside of Knoxville. I have 2 hound dogs that I love, and they smell bad. They're right here. And I'm a University of Tennessee fan. If you want me to sing Rocky Top, I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh,
but-
yes.
Okay. No, the LSU fan.
Love it. Love it.
Anyway, college football is a big thing here.
That's right. We've got our Longhorns. You've got, UT, Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Go for Orange. My question, and you sort of touched on it a little bit a while ago. Some of the bathroom things that come along with, it really started for me a few years ago with the incontinence. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, that's
All
a
of
fun one,
sudden-
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
I mean, have you guys worked that into it's a whole thing to talk about, right? So I don't know. Have you done an episode? Maybe I need to go watch it.
Yes, we'd love you to see these, because we do. I remember one time, Shari and I have social media too, so sometimes I'll just be at the drugstore and it'll be the incontinence. You see now signs for at the drugstore, and I'm just in that area. So yeah, Shari, do you have anything to add with that?
We do. If actually at the end of season 1, if you watch, we do bring it up where I don't want to give it away, but I do have to pee somewhere. So you might want to check that out. It's not a pleasant place, but it does happen. And it is a part of it. It's part of estrogen. Again, we're not doctors. I can't, but from all of our research and research for myself, that's an issue that I deal with, and how many Kegels can you do, and is it about estrogen and putting that back in, or progesterone, or whatever it is that you find, again, the biggest thing is finding that advocate doctor that's going to help you, who's going to help you. I went to 4, by the way, before I found a good doctor. So
Yeah, that's a really good question. We really wanted to know, how people can, what you're, we know these are characters and everything, but how people can prepare better, or what you think. I mean, people really, I think, need to be with a menopause specialist. I mean, you can get so lost on what you need to do. Agreed? Or what would you say to that?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to say anything against our doctors, but most of our doctors that we've gone to have studied so little about menopause. Now, for the past 1.5, 2 years, it's been like menopause heaven, if that's what you want to call it. But now it's a business.
Yes.
And now we are at the point where we have to, I think, weed through all the crap.
Yes.
Because there's going to be a lot of quick fixes, this, and you've got to find the doctor that has studied menopause, which I have one. I really think that's why my menopause has been much better than it could have been, because I found her early. And I thought I was so ahead of the game. I said, I'm just so ahead of the game. I want to get my testing done, and I'm sure I'm not going through it and blah, blah, blah. I take my test and she literally goes, I don't know how you're functioning. You have like no estrogen. So I don't even know. I mean, I think the next day I would have been hot flashed, whatever would have happened. But we're all different and we all believe different things. I am taking hormones. And I know at one point it was the worst thing ever. And I know with you, Julie, it is because she's,
Don't worry, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to get them back.
But, I really do believe, because I was so early. Well, it doesn't sound like I was, but I was young when I kind of said, let's just see what the levels are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You really got in on that kind of early. And this is the thing. People don't even ask to check your levels. A lot of times people are just throwing that, like you said, you got to weed out all the stuff because people are throwing this at you and that at you. And you're like, really, what is it that I need? And that's true.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have blood work and you don't do all that. I'm also a nurse. So, I mean, I talk about this stuff all the time, and it's important to find what is going to work for you, because none of us need to be miserable.
Right.
Or misery loves company, but
Well, it's tricky too, because I had a hysterectomy
yeah.
when I was in my
Like, you're
40s.
a
so
mess.
I'm
Like,
a total
you're a
mess.
total
so,
mess.
And they don't
Yeah.
really follow up with you very well. And
Yeah, you
help
should be
you
just
figure that
fine.
out.
You had a hysterectomy. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's kind of,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I
you're
think
not.
too, if you think about it, the third act of our lives, which we're all
Yes.
in or are approaching, you're going to live 30 years, 40 years in that third act, perhaps.
Yeah.
What is the quality of your life?
Exactly.
What do you want it to
Exactly.
be? That's I think the primary question that I've learned all this time. And then you can go and try and find your people that
Yeah.
can make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the third act. Is there the final act, or how does that,
Does that work?
like, what's the next
That's
one?
the new
Is there-
show. That's
do
when we
we-
twist it to something
Do
else.
we
That's
have
when
hope?
friendship
like,
goes
past
into
that?
that.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think it's death, Monica.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I mean, this is really, and it is such a lively, great thing. I mean, what people would ask us, well, what are you going to do after menopause? I go, well, first thing, it lasts a long time.
A really long
And
time.
my
Yeah.
doctor says it lasts forever. I
Yeah.
mean, post-menopause is menopause. And I know some of you women may have not be having as, the symptoms, or maybe you did and now they're easier. But I promise you they can come back. And you are in menopause throughout your life. So,
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So when they did ask us that, I go, well, we're going to take this to that many years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things. We just don't have to talk about symptoms, but we can talk about kids leaving. We can talk about divorce. We can talk about changing of careers. There's so much that we women that have been pushed under the rug. It's like we can't produce children anymore, so do away with them. And now it's like, uh-oh, watch out. Here we come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nancy, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question for our guests?
Yes. Hey, I'm Nancy Barger. Hi, Lauralee. I'm in Knoxville, so go Big Orange. We're right down the street. My best friend is actually an OBGYN, so she can help you. She's a great menopause specialist. She
That's
took my
awesome.
uterus out a couple years ago. It's been fabulous, and she says I'll go through menopause in a couple of years, and I trust her. But I'm having the hot flashes and the incontinence and all of that stuff. I'm a mom of 4. I'm about to be a grandmother for the first time. I actually host a radio show here, so I make fun of people all the time. And I made fun of my hysterectomy for a good month, which was on the air to 100,000 people that all know that I've had a hysterectomy. So trying to bring awareness to that situation. And Leanne Morgan is a friend of mine, so I love the fact that she's there. But one thing I have
yeah.
not quite figured out yet is how do you apologize to your husband and your kids after a menopause mood swing? Because it happens a lot. And there's only so often that you can blame it on your Zoloft or whatever else you're taking when you're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, do you have to apologize? I mean, let's think about if college football, like the cable went out and something, the meltdown was from him. But no, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it depends.
Yes. Sherry? Jane, you have
I
thoughts?
don't apologize to my husband or son. No, and they know I'm going around crazy. I think it's still just talking about it. I'll tell you a funny story. I talk about it quite a bit because we have a show about it.
Yeah.
And my husband's not that kind of person. He's like, oh, please, I shouldn't. I'm going to share it. I won't say his name. So I had something going on with my lady parts. And I was like, honey, I need you to look. I need you to look. Something's telling me. He's like, get away from me. And I'm chasing him through the house. I didn't realize I was actually doing that. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I go, I need you to look because I think something's really, and he's like, wow, this is not, no, this is, and I realized, wow, I'm really asking more of him
than he can handle. Yeah.
He's willing to give in this. He's trying to be understanding. And I think just communicating, especially you said you have 4 kids. Do you have boys?
I have 2 girls and 2 boys, and my girls get it. My husband's like your husband. If you say the word tampon in front of him, he'll melt down. An emotional and physical meltdown. He's never bought one. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to acknowledge that that's how women have children. In the delivery room, he stayed at the North Pole the entire time. And so I think like when the mood swings kind of come around, he as a man will never understand what we're going through. And I think it's frustrating for him because he doesn't get it. And so then, sometimes him and the boys just kind of snap. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could sign him up for a class. I think an educational.
I think too, you said you had a best friend that took out your uterus. Wow, there's a statement right there. I think for Jane and I having that best friend, sometimes that's the best medicine is that they're going to understand even past your family and everyone what you're going through. You can just call them and say, hey, my husband's like really wanky right now. He is not getting what's going on.
Yeah.
What's funny, I've actually had her call him. And I'm trying to explain what's happening.
Can I get her number? Yeah.
Let me tell you.
She's the hotline.
She has her whole hand in your hoo-hoo and starts asking you questions about countries. That's a little weird, but
I all jokes aside too, I just think open communication is the best. And it is so humbling. It is so humbling to be like that and treat somebody who loves me like he does and my daughter and treat him like that. So I really know what you mean. And then you have to apologize, but I think you do. And just open communication, because it's just, we're laughing and we're funny and we're laughing, but you know what? It's so vulnerable. We are losing so much of what we worked hard to get, whether that was as we worked out or did that or had beautiful hair. And it's just, and even people paying attention to us. Remember when you'd go on the street, you'd always get hellos, and then all of a sudden you don't get even the door open. Well, I don't go to the bank anymore, but it's different. It's different. And until maybe you get really old and then maybe somebody else, but just that open communication. And if you have those people there that are there and you can let your guard down.
I think that's really key to being very vulnerable. And you said something in the beginning, Jane, about the clumps of hair. Okay. So we've had this huge argument in my house. I used to be married. I'm not anymore, but that was a huge thing. And I was like, do you think this is great for me that I am losing by them? And then, of course, we all stick it on the wall to get it at the end of the shower. I mean, this is a thing. You know what I mean? Maybe I forgot a few times. And so you have a couple clumps of hair there. But this is really not easy for us to do either. So you're right about the communication. If you're just like open about it, it kind of takes the elephant out of the room, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. Jane, you also mentioned something about how you're looked at differently, and did I read correctly? Were you the homecoming queen at Oil City High School. I thought
Yeah,
Oil
you did
City.
your research, girl.
I did my
don't even think
research. I
Shari
always
knows
do.
that.
You know, I'm a lawyer by trade.
Oh, we're going to show a picture in a minute. Don't worry.
But I mean, so how does it feel? Like the homecoming queen also goes through menopause. You know,
She sure
everybody
does.
goes through menopause. Eventually, you know, if you live long enough, you're lucky enough, that's what happens.
right.
So it is a different, you know, we all experience it, and just
Yeah,
have to-
aging is an honor, as I tell the girls.
But I also love something that Nancy talked about. That's why we have the Moms Club. That's why we're friends. You know what? We can talk to our husbands and try to help them understand what we're going through. But that's why we have these close friendships with other women. Women are great about having friendships and being tight. And like when you're feeling like crying or you got acne and what are you gonna do? And I call Julie. You know? She'll make me feel so much better.
you call me anyway
Yeah.
because you're a hypochondriac
I
and I'm a
do.
nurse. So you're like,
I'm a huge hypochondriac. Yeah, I didn't even need menopause to have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I just
it was already there. No.
yeah.
Anyway, so how did you guys handle like the casting for this show? I'm dying to know. Like, you know, did you have a ton of people, or tell me a little bit about that?
sounds like you had some good volunteers who liked what you
Yeah.
were doing. But did you have to cast a wider net, or how did that happen?
Yeah, it was so wonderful to be able to cast people of our age, because of our age, you're not getting cast as much, you know?
Right.
So that was a wonderful thing. And we used, of course, all our friends. And then when we didn't have to, we just went into casting, and it was great. And, you know, of course, we wanted to get some names. And, you know, it's funny, if you have enough connections out here. We do live in LA.
Yes.
So you just come across these actors. Michael Doran happens to be one of my best friends.
Oh.
And Tom Lennon, actually, our children went to preschool together. So let me tell you a great story about Tom Lennon. I don't know. I didn't talk to him for years. And Shari and I are going through, think Tom Cruise will do it? How about Brad Pitt? So we're going through this. And I said, you know what? I know Tom Lennon. She goes, what? You know Tom Lennon? If you ladies don't know me, was on something called Reno 911, and he was a cop that wore way too short shorts. He's just a funny guy. So anyway, I give him a text. I said, hey, this is Jane. And I said, we have this. I'm thinking about, I'd love you to play my best friend's husband. And I knew this dude did not watch this. And within 3 minutes, right, Shari? He wrote me back and said, I'm in, whatever you need. So it's just amazing, friends and people.
And I will say too, in season 2, one of the extraordinary things when you watch that season, and we are writing season 3 right now.
Yes.
We're in pre-production. It was amazing to have, we had women the age of 14 to 90 telling the story. And there's something magical about that we didn't realize. I don't know that we did that on purpose. It would just happen to be the episodes we wrote. And I went, oh my goodness, like look at all these different generations of women telling the story and being funny and sincere and vulnerable, all those things. And that was an amazing part of the casting too, I think.
I'm glad you explained I read that, the 14 to 90. I was like, where are we with the 14-year-old part? But I get what you're saying now. So I'm glad we touched base on that.
Do you each have a favorite episode?
Yeah.
I do, and it's so funny because it's not a funny one, but I'm going to probably break a little something, but because I would love you to see it and how it progresses, but there's this one where I get so angry at her and she stands me up, and I'm waiting for her to go to another wonderful guru session or something, and then the next episode we see we're angry, we're in a fight, definitely. We see each other, we run into each other in a drugstore, and we find out. I guess I don't have to tell you. We find out what is wrong, but it is something that happens sometimes because of menopause, whatever, or a result, whatever. And she opens up in a drugstore, and it's very touching, and I absolutely adore that episode. But it's probably nothing. Like if we started watching 3 together, that's not an episode I'd show you until you know the characters and you care about them, and you go, whoa. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
that's mine, and it's called Surprise. Shari?
Oh, okay.
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, I want to give away things too. Just to be fun and be silly. It was really, I guess it was the research of it too. It was really fun to do the episode about smoking pot. So we thought we'd try it. That'll cure it. Because that's the thing too, women, am I right? you just don't know what to do. You will try anything at some point, right? So someone had
Absolutely.
said, oh, if you use, little herb that, and I said, well, I haven't done that since I don't even know when. Let's do it. Let's try it. And so that whole kind of that experiment, and I have a son who's 23, and so I had to get this vape thing, and I'm asking him, I don't even know how this thing works. I mean, I thought you lit it. I thought you lit the vape thing. I didn't know you don't like it. And I just had a ball with my son. It was actually a bonding moment for my son, because he was like, what are you doing, Mom? I said, I need you to show me just enough of this, but I don't know how to use it. And so that one was a lot of fun. And that one actually, the first day had 40,000 views.
Oh my gosh.
That was our biggest.
It was so weird. I was like, why is and I think because women our age trying to, I was trying to score some pot, and get in the car, and I was talking about all the names. They have, I don't know if you guys have been to one of those stores. It is fascinating. I did research it, and I went and I was like, oh my God, it's like a candy store in here. They have
highly educational by far. I mean, and first, definitely. So.
And does it work? No. Okay, but let's move on.
Well, this is so much fun. So where can our audience find your show, and where do we find you on social media?
Okay, so we're always at The Third Act, and the is THEE, The Third Act.
Which I love.
On YouTube, you can go there. Also on Fire TV, our first 2 seasons are streaming, and then season 3 will be coming out. So on YouTube, it's at The Third Act. Social media is the same, so you can see us on Instagram. Big one coming up, 4th and 5th of October. We'll be at the Anaheim Convention Center for the National Menopause Show, which will be fun. And we're hoping to parlay that. I'll put this out there, ladies. I have a theory. Jane, you want to tell them where I think this show is going to live next?
I hope you say Austin,
Go ahead,
Texas.
please.
Okay. So when you go to the doctor's office and you have to sit and wait, well, because you're a nurse, and you're watching those TVs and they're showing you how to make like beet juice because of your BMI and measure it or whatever.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if you're going to really talk about women, if you're in watching our show before you go in to see them?
I mean,
that would be great.
That would be
It just relaxes you. You're opened up and you go, I can talk about cracks wherever they're happening in my body. Because those women did it.
because they did it out in the
I love
lobby.
that.
So now I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know if doctors would love that because you're like in there an hour and a half. Like you're like, hey, I was out here and they mentioned it, and so
But no, that's great.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, that really is. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been so much
Thanks
fun.
for being open and talking about it
informative.
all.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Like I said, this is the menopause moment. So let's.
I know.
Go
I'm
for
gonna.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and
Be binge watching on the way home.
We are. And we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Newcalm, which is a great app that helps you sleep better, which you definitely needed in this situation.
Yep.
Newcalm is huge.
I mean,
It's for everything.
it's
For
for
menopause.
it's for
You know what?
menopause. It's
for
ever-
all
it's
of us,
about-
all of us
yeah.
women who are in menopause. Get Newcalm, and you can get a subscription for 15% off every month of your subscription if you just put Mom's Club in the code at checkout. So definitely subscribe to.
It's one of my faves.
Newcalm.
Absolutely.
Well, it's made us. We're the
still
roommates
friends
that we
because
are.
of
We're
it.
still friends because
Yeah.
we have to share a room when we're here in Los Angeles because some people are cheap. No, no, that would be me actually. So I'm talking about myself. I apologize. Anyway,
Guess who's buying lunch today?
I know.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah.
And also, we will have some exciting things to announce. We're going to have a big new sponsor coming on board. That's
Yes.
a tease, ladies. Just wait for it. Pretty soon, we're going to have a really amazing, as we say here in the Moms
That's
Club,
right.
sponsor coming on board. And we're also going to ask you to join us across the country at our live events. We've been doing these across the country, and we're now thrilled to report that we'll be live in Nashville, Atlanta, North Dallas, and Shreveport soon. So check the Inside the Moms Club website for local event dates. This is going to be fun, free, and very
I think that we should have a
informative.
menopause speaker.
I think we might.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. There'll be limited tickets available, so you'll be able to secure your ticket at InsideTheMomsClub.com.
Yeah.
So definitely please join us for that. Well, Julie, this always goes by way too fast.
It did, and I'm really glad I
was
didn't
so
mention
much-
as a nurse, I didn't really go down the road of everything about menopause. I was on my best
You
behavior.
really were. I'm glad. But I'm sure we'll talk about it later because I have some questions.
Oh, great. Yeah.
But no, it just goes by so fast.
It goes by fast. This is an incredibly important topic. And I can tell you that, ladies, you're in the hot spot. And I mean, I don't mean that, no pun intended. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, take those jackets off, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I think that this is key, and that women, like you said, it lasts a really long time, and we should not be miserable and suffering, and bounce ideas off each other, open up, take the elephant out of the room.
That's right.
And it's all good.
Moms unite.
Yeah.
We are together on this. Well, we will be back next time with celebrities and extraordinary women just like
right.
you. We know all your me time is precious and valuable. Thanks, Mom, for sharing it with us. Remember our Moms Club motto.
That's right.
If you don't laugh sometimes,
you're
gonna
going to cry.
So keep laughing, moms, and we'll see you next time inside the Moms Club.
Yes.